It's the blend of head and heart wrapped in strategy. I am a fan of Deborah Gauvreau. I've watched her work her magic for years in many different ways. Watching how Emile Gauvreau stepped up to the table in his own right, doing his own thing, was also admirable, especially when you think they're partners, so they actually have their own life.
While you were board president, if someone did have a question or a concern or an inquiry, I got the sense that they were more than comfortable in reaching out to you. They felt safe to be able to voice their concerns.
There's passion in their desire for the success of the work they're doing. So passionate about the success of the work they're participating in.
Lovely people and caring and innovators. They're very community focused. I just can't, I just adore both of them. So I have like the emotional side and then the professional side, but the emotional side comes through because they're just lovely.
Deborah really has had a vision, and she's had the leadership and the skills to keep everything moving forward. I think the loss of her has been felt. We're still, if there's any tribute to her, it's the fact that we're still going forward without her. But she's really good at the strategy, the vision. She's just a really great leader. And I would say for Emile, he has carried the ball, carried the water, as they say, from to keep us focused and on track. And he's been terrific at helping us build the hub infrastructure.
I mean, what I really like is I like Emile's optimism. I think that's great. It means a lot to me when I get on a meeting. It's gonna be start well. The middle's gonna be fine. We'll talk about the challenges. It's always gonna end up. I mean, that's just some people have it, Emile has it. He's very optimistic of the way he looks at things. Deborah is very impactful person. She's very professional. She's very thoughtful. She's very organized. She knows how to look at projects, how to break things down. I think I know she's empowering. I think that you would agree that she's empowering. Like I said, I had the opportunity to work with her when there was another project through FCOA, and with Patterson, they call you. And so when we got the call from Deborah, it was really a highlight in my career to be able to take a program that we wouldn't have been able to do and work with her and then work with other people. So she was able to organize everyone again, for us to share what we were learning, make sure that we communicated, along to all the guidelines and the regulations, which you have to do if you're getting a grant. A lot of people didn't realize that, but I just really, really enjoyed her style of working. So again, when I saw that she was part of this initiative, I didn't hesitate to pick up the phone and say, where are you?
One of the things that Deborah and Emile were able to do was pull together a fantastic number of people in different positions, different expertise. And that was one of the things that we thought we have to have here, because each one helps build the link in order to have a strong foundation.
I have a word that I think describes them both, and that's visionaries. The biggest thing is being an advocate for villages with the Patterson Foundation. It being something that she really wanted to happen. UPLIFT, the idea for a statewide organization came later, right? But I think convening the villages and learning from them and having them network with each other, which Deborah did, is my understanding, as a first step, and all the other things, which I don't know all of them, but things like trying to start Sarasota Village, all the things that led to UPLIFT. Being the advocate with the Patterson Foundation for support of this happening, whatever it might be, and this ended up being UPLIFT. keeping us on task, I think, and, but I feel like mostly being the advocate for, support of what we were trying to do.
Say a visionary and experienced. Deborah was a visionary, and she had a vision of what she thought Uplift could be, and the drive at the time to move us in that direction. He's had a lot of experience, so he was experienced in working with nonprofits. So he was more of a behind the scenes person. He was more getting things done and more the administrative things.
Well, I'd start there. I mean, the fact that she came up with the idea and has, she masterfully pushed it along all the way through, until very recently, of course, but, when she was unable to do that, but, she really was the driving force in this.
Dedicated. Yeah, you're not going to move very far if you don't have people who are dedicated to the idea and to the reality of it, who grasp what this could mean.
Oh, I would say so. I mean, they've toiled away here, and it's not easy to get up and work on this stuff every day, and I think they've assembled a good group of people, a great group of people, for the board and to get this off the ground. And, I can't thank them enough for having done that, because that's hard. I mean, it is hard to create something from nothing.
That's easy. Dedicated. I would use that for both of them. They are dedicated.
I think what they brought to the table is passion to do this work, and passion and commitment, and they truly believe in it, and they poured their heart and soul into it. It's just what it is. And I'd say passion and commitment.
She's a visionary, but to bring TPF lingo into this, she's a possibilitarian and a passionate. She also has that ability and that drive to now we have this vision, let's make sure we get it done. So she brought that up and getting that momentum going, getting people to come into what's happening and getting them involved and getting them working, getting those boots on the ground. I would say that Deborah's presence, in the early beginnings, and even now, even if she's not as involved in the meetings, is definitely valued, definitely appreciated. And even though she's not sitting into the meetings, whenever we do meet, I try to incorporate her thoughts. Like, if Deborah was here, I think she would want us to do that. So she continues to propel the organization forward. You as well, Emile, deserves your kudos in the spirit of one word answers. If I had one word to describe you, it'd definitely be charismatic. I think filling in as president, when he first joined, you may not have thought that would have been happening down in your future, but you being willing to see that was a need, and it was someone had to do it, and it was a great need, and you willing to step into it. And I don't know, you're very charismatic. You have one of those personalities where I think everyone really likes you. And it's because you are really level-headed and you're able to let everyone have a voice, their point of view, their comments are valid, and see how we can incorporate what everyone is thinking and feeling into the conversation. That's not easy to do. Grateful that we had you in the role of the president to help keep things steady. And maybe that may have been slow, but at least we were moving forward.
Emile and Deborah were willing to set aside the tendency to just try to repeat what other people have done. And that's why Deborah and I bonded from the beginning, because what I appreciate about what Deborah and Emile were doing, and what I hope is continuing, is a constant reimagining of what a village could or should be.
Passionate, because I have for decades had a passion towards older adults, because I just think that villages offer a paradigm to older adults that would be a really significant improvement to the ecosystem.
I think we were both committed to the idea. I think Deborah definitely sees this part of our future in terms of our ability to age in place. And, when we moved into the place where we are right now, she said she's never moving again. And so when she first heard about villages, she said, that's the ticket. That's the way I will never have to move again. So I'd say that's the reason for the time, the money, for virtually our entire time as a couple. We've always given to money to organizations that we felt were doing things that we wanted to see happen. So it's the future. We think.